All right, guys, we are here today. Honestly, it's a big day, dude. Do I want? Yeah, I guess I'll get this one. It's a big day. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got earnings already out for SoFi, PayPal. We got PayPal and SoFi. Up at the top. What's up, Lee? Pawn. Yeah, so PayPal posted here. Let's get some stuff up here. Hold on. Sorry, pulling up. Where's the other one? Don't I have another one? I think I do. Maybe I don't. Let's see. We got news, chat. Okay, we're gonna have to open up another one. All right, so you can see most stuff's down. Here's Nvidia. Nvidia slightly red, closed at 108.70s. It's at 108s even right now. Palantir, a little red this morning, also down under 114.60s. We got Tesla, red, but both of these are still up pretty big. You know, we did have SoFi release their earnings. SoFi, they posted, again, you can see SoFi's numbers at the top of the screen. Let me make sure you guys can see this one. There we go. Yeah, you can see SoFi's numbers posted at the top of the screen. SoFi ended up posting. SoFi posted first quarter EPS of 6 cents, revenue of 771, GAAP EPS. So I put their guidance up on screen. They had guidance of 6 cents versus 6 cents expected. Sales guidance of 805 versus 783 expected. So a little bit better than expected for sales guidance, as expected for SoFi for EPS margin guidance. And SoFi is reacting positively to this. They are up to 1360s. We also have PayPal releasing some numbers here this morning. PayPal dropped all the way down to 64 after this release. PayPal is at the top of the screen as well. All right, so yeah, we're shortening this a little bit. So EPS was for SoFi. What was EPS for SoFi? EPS for SoFi was 6 cents versus, what did they expect? SoFi ended up expecting 3 cents. So a little bit better than expected. Rev of, what did SoFi do for Rev? They did 771. All right, so we should have all this stuff at the top of the screen here. Yeah, we got everything at the top of the screen. SoFi. Again, we take a look at the NASDAQ 100 here. We're at 19.5, still sitting around 19.5s. And honestly, today we got a whole bunch of reports. We've got the JOLTS report. We've got the import price index data. We've got, honestly, we got all kind of stuff coming out today live. We've got good trades balance at 8:30. K-Shiller at 9, CB Consumer Confidence and the JOLTS report at 10. We got the Atlanta Fed GDP now for quarter one at 10:30, which we're going to stick around and stream as well because, I mean, why not? Yeah, it honestly, we got Snapchat earnings later on today. Also, other earnings that drops. We got Spotify released this morning. Spotify showed up at 220. I'm sorry. Spotify showed up at 149 versus 140. Or no, that's Spotify showed up at 113 versus 229 expected. They came in 50.7% worse than expected in margins for EPS. Revenue for Spotify, if we take a look at Spot here, they are down big on this report. Revenue for Spotify showed up at $4.41 billion, which was basically as expected. Just a huge miss for Spotify numbers. They must have had some type of bad catalyst for this news release, I'm guessing here, for this EPS beat. Let's see what they blamed it on. Yeah, I'll have to go dig deeper into Spotify's numbers to figure out why they had such a big miss. Yeah, we got... Yo, what's up, chat? 7th trading day. Interesting. Ready to make some dollars because nothing makes sense. So much strength in markets now, though. Pretty wild run up we've had. All indices are above the downside trend. Yeah, I mean, the market's come back a little bit. What's up, Demetrius, Kiera, NFL, Lee, Pawn, Britt, Allen, R, Guilty, Sam, Liberty, Ray, Stiff, Trailer, Do, Yellow, Ed, Doom, Nad, Anthony, Milkshake, Don, Keegan, Texan. What's up, guys? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Honestly, we got some stuff coming out today. I'm excited for it. We'll see what it looks like. What's up, Todd? What's up, Kay? All right. Yeah, we had KFC release numbers. They posted 62 cents versus 60 cents expected. Net sales of $6 billion versus 601 expected. Organic revenue of minus 4.7%. They expected minus 4.4%. They see guidance fiscal year adjusted EPS at 251 to 267 versus 274. So a little bit worse guidance for Kraft Heinz, lowering full year outlook as well. We also had Altria show up. They posted 123 versus 119 EPS. I don't know if they posted revenue. American Tower, Coca-Cola dropped early this morning. They posted 73 cents versus 72 cents. Adjusted organic revenue of plus 6%, plus 5.2% expected. All right, guys. And yeah, let's look at the markets right now. Again, the biggest report today is probably the Jolts report. Probably. We got K-Shiller house price index. So China's Vice Premier He Lifeng says they need to calmly analyze and respond to recent developments and changes in the external situation. We had JetBlue earnings come out too. India reportedly prepared to offer U.S. forward most favored nation clause as a sweetener in trade talks, according to Reuters, citing sources. So they're coming through with maybe a trade deal for India. And we also have the K-Shiller house price index going live. The K-Shiller house price index. Looking at home prices, it's expected to show up at 4.6% today, year over year. 4.6%. Last time showed up at 4.7%. Measures the change in the selling price of homes and across the U.S. So we'll see what that looks like as well today. So we do have a cut to HSBC's S&P 500 Index 2025 year-end target. They cut it to 5,600 from 6,700. So that's a pretty big cut here. You know, that's a pretty big cut. And again, they cut the S&P 500 2025 year-end target to 5,600. Just to put this into perspective here, if we put up the E-mini now, we're at about 55s on this. So they think we're going to be flat for the rest of the year? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that or not. Flat for the rest of the year. That's different. And so again, just to run through the earnings real quick. We've had SoFi beat EPS, beat revenue. PayPal beat EPS, miss revenue. Spotify miss EPS, miss revenue. UPS beat EPS, beat revenue. Coca-Cola beat EPS, miss revenue. Pfizer beat EPS, miss revenue. Royal Caribbean beat EPS, miss revenue. JetBlue beat EPS, miss revenue. GM beat EPS. It doesn't show a revenue here for it. MO Altria beat EPS, beat revenue. BP missed EPS, missed revenue. And that's all the big ones. So a lot of revenue misses here. A lot of revenue misses. Yeah, interesting. A lot of companies missed revenue this quarter, especially this morning. Yeah, a lot of misses in revenue. SoFi, PayPal, Spotify with a huge miss. UPS, Coca-Cola, Pfizer, Royal Caribbean, JetBlue, GM, MO. We also had Honeywell. What did Honeywell do? I like Honeywell as a company, personally. They beat EPS, beat revenue. Okay. Red day? I don't know, man. It depends on what the data shows up as always. What's up, Pawn? Yeah, a lot of companies are pulling forward guidance. They're not really optimistic, which is interesting, too. Yeah, a lot of companies just straight up pulling forward guidance. Let me pull up Discord here. So we put in a little withdrawal request from one of our Top Step accounts. So we're currently getting a withdrawal in one of them. The other one, we're green on as well. We're green on all three funded accounts that we have active. Yeah, so tariff news today. Ford and GM stocks rise on auto relief hopes. Adidas also warned of higher prices potentially coming out into the future here. China seeking partners in trade war with U.S. China's foreign minister today released a video saying it won't capitulate in a message as much to other trading partners as to the U.S. The video was titled China to U.S. Never Kneel Down, released on YouTube with an English narrator, cites American action against Japan's Toshiba and France's Alstom as what it says are examples of how the U.S. is abusing its power. That's not a new change or new charge. They've said this before, but they posted a video about it today. That might be why some markets are down this morning as well. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's run those numbers up. A timer to what? We got a lot of different news releases today, bro. Stop spamming, please. Let's do a poll. Will today be a red or green day? Vote on the poll. Let me know how you feel. Yeah, we are red this morning. I mean, honestly, NASDAQ technically green. S&P technically green. The Dow technically green. So we're not red. We're down a little bit versus where we were like 30, 40 minutes ago. But we're honestly still pretty green in most stuff. Like a lot of this is flat. Like NASDAQ's consolidating right around 19.5. E-minis right around 55s. Dow right around 40.5K. So we're honestly right in the middle, but we're slightly green. Yeah. Yeah, what's weird is I've had pretty good results trading early in the morning. Like I've had a little bit better results trading early in the morning, but we'll trade some this morning. I just got to make sure I'm trading the right account. Yes, this is the right one. Okay, cool. Because we got to do a couple really nice trades yesterday on Top Step TV. You know, we made about 100 and something, like 120 bucks or so. And we're still hanging right around my levels that I've had on my charts for a long time now too. So we're still sitting right around my charts, my levels. Expect a green day today. It's his 100 day in office, whether you like him or not. His ego won't allow about market day. I don't know if he can control it though, bro. You know, so unless he comes out saying some really positive, optimistic things that get people excited, I don't know if he has any type of influence like that. I promise you, he would make the market go up right now if he could. He doesn't like the down market. Top 3 logical people in the world right now. I would definitely say if there was like the most logical, like if there's a list of the top 3 most logical people of all time, I would say I'm definitely part of that list. I'm gonna short this. We've got a cushion here in this account. Beautiful little rejection quickly here on this trade. We'll probably hold the rest break even now, but we're short. I could also add to this. Okay. Okay. I mean, we're green. I'm going to add a little bit more to this and then try to hold the rest break even. I would say if there's a list of the top 3 most logical people ever, it's me. It goes William Shatner. Here, hold on. I was going to make that list. Give me your list of the top 3 most logical people. I better be in there. All right, guys. So we're now pushing up a little bit. I'm going to give it some time, though. We're basically flat here. All right, we're about to cut this. Oh, no. It just popped up so quickly. We're down $27. We'll be all right. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I like it. Yeah, I got a monitor stack. Yeah, I've got a 49-inch ultra wide on the bottom, and then yeah, I got a monitor stack. Yeah, I should have short. I wanted to short this 15.3 level. Like, look at this level up here, and then look at the reaction we got to it. Usually we don't have, like, we can have levels anywhere, but I got a little FOMO. I didn't take this one up here. I should have taken it. All right, guys. So Novo, MasterCard, and Corpay launched strategic partnership in a cross-border payments. MasterCard investing $300 million for 3%. AbbVie, one of their bio drugs, received FDA approval for giant cell arteritis / GCA. Ah, man, I wanted to short my level right here. I just didn't. I should have. Oh, wait, let me fix this. There you go. Let me fix this too. I'm realizing I need more space on this thing. Hold on. Ah, I should have, I'm still kind of mad I didn't hold that short. Look at this. 19.5 is a big spot right here. I will short this back into it. It's a little late to short, but we'll try. I just think we're going to move down and test 19.5s. It's still really early, so we're kind of very smally trade, but I think this is really good. I think one thing that you can use on Top Step X a lot is micros, and you can just kind of make money with micros. There we go. There we go. I'm going to take half off there. We got this other little baby contract sitting here. Go down to 19.5s. Don't you do it. Like, hit 19.5s. Alright, we're going to get out right there. Down to 19.5. So once we got that close to it, I just assumed we're going to tap it at least. And we did. We tapped it. It doesn't matter if we break underneath it now, but... Are you able to analyze Tesla monthly and see the break and retest level? What do you mean, like on a monthly chart? I don't really look at monthly charts. I look at weekly charts. Weekly charts will look back 10 years. The biggest levels I see on Tesla right now, personally, are $300, which is right above us right now. That's a big isolated high up there. Whole dollar level milestone area. $300 looks interesting to watch. I'm looking at like below 3, like I'm looking at 275. Honestly, 275 below 3 is confirmed like 3 or 4 times over and over again on a weekly chart. So I'm looking at 300 and 275. You can see we did stop a little bit at 19.5, but 19.5 is a psychological level as well. So we'll see if we hold or continue down today. Look at us bounce right there, dude. See, right there at 19.5s. That's why I use that as a profit target, because, and you can kind of see how I use levels. Like, it's not, like, I use a mix of like quarter dollars, whole dollars, milestone areas, previous highs. I don't know where this level I drew on my chart came from, but that level worked pretty well also. And honestly, this system that I've built using these levels, it's been pretty simple to make money. I'm not even trying to brag too much. I'm certainly not perfect at trading, but the system that I've used has gotten all 3 of my funded accounts green. Um, you know, all three of these things are green now. Yeah, look at that 19.5 pop. So, yep. Yeah, UPS had bad earnings too, man. They showed up weak. I'm gonna put two charts up. Like, here's UPS. Yeah, look at that 19.5 bounce. Exactly. Right off of that spot. Yeah, but I mean, is me being excited that, like, levels that I have that are working, is that bragging? I don't think that's bragging, bro. I think I'm just excited that the levels I have work, you know? Yeah, I'm just excited that the system I have is working, you know? And I think that's understandable. I think me being excited, I have, you know, a system that works is pretty standard. I think you're showing folks a valid strategy, guy. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a valid strategy too. You're just looking at levels. Like, again, the way I find these levels is very simple. I look at confirmations. All right, confirmations. I look back at history, longer term charts, shorter term charts. I just look at confirmations. I look at milestone levels, and then I look at isolated levels. You know, isolated levels. What I mean by isolated levels, like, I look at levels like this right here, to be honest, where it's isolated right up there. Very clear level. Everybody else sees it. Very obvious, very clear. All right, so look at this flush down under 1950. And again, another part of my system, like, if I attack a level like this, I never do retests. Meaning, if we move down here, bounce directly off of this level short term, and then retest it, I don't attack this bounce again. And you can kind of see why. Because the second retest short term is usually a lot less reliable for the support level. A lot of the time we will move down, confirm the level, and then dump down. And, like, I don't want to get stuck in that second drop trying to buy the support of that level, if that makes sense. So once we test it once, my hands are up short term, like within like a 15 or 20 minute period, that means. I'll have to do a video on it a little bit more, but yeah, we got Scott Besant talking in about 45 minutes. Yeah, y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Yeah, it's liquidity levels. It's milestone levels. It's psychological levels. Whatever you want to call it. I have a rhyme or reason for documenting them. And then, you know, like, here's another good example of, like, an isolated level. Like, look at this right here. That's pretty isolated down there, you know. Like, that's a pretty isolated level. It's just clear. It's got a big candle wick. It's bouncing right at like a $0.25 level at 450. These are the type of isolated levels I look at. And now we can look to see if it holds resistance here as well. Yeah, so I think Besant talks in like 10 minutes. All right, guys. You guys ready? We got a lot of stuff happening today. We got the Jolts job report coming out. At 8:30, we have the import price index. So look, now 19.5. And again, just to put the system into a little bit more perspective here, big milestone levels. Examples of big milestone levels are half hundred or 500 and 1,000 levels. So what I mean by that is like 19,000 is a big level. I give that level more weight than like 19,475 right here, right? So like, but with that said, 19,000, 19.5 right here, very big level. 20,000, would be another example of one. 25, 20.5 that is. 21,000, 22,000, 21.5 thousand. Those levels get a little bit more weight, a little bit more influence over price because a lot of people are paying attention to them, especially if we make like a big run up towards a level. Like if we make a big run up towards, an example of this is like, if we make a big run up towards 20,000, big milestone level, there's a lot of ways you can kind of play those areas, those lines. So anyways, taking a look at like Palantir as well. Look at Palantir, man. Palantir has had a absolutely crazy run up. It's up to almost 115s. 115s. What's up, Smart Film? Yeah, so look at the retest here. So that support turns into resistance short term. All right, so here's a move back up to test 19.5s again. What other blue chip stocks? I'm looking at, like, I know Tesla's had one of the big run-ups and run-back downs. NVIDIA still up there to almost 110. Still trying to hold 110. Apple of over 210s, which is pretty strong. NASDAQ testing that 19.5 level again, though. Let's see if that holds. Still testing. I almost want to short this, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Looks like that was the right move to wait. I could see another area being at like 19.515 or so, maybe 19.510. A lesser like influence level, but maybe an area there nonetheless. You could also maybe call it like 15. I guess we'd probably call it 15. We'll short this if it moves back under 19.5s and holds. We got to let a candlestick hold though. We're looking to see if it comes back under 19.5s, and we'll short it. But again, we had some big earnings. SoFi, probably one of the bigger stocks this morning, had pretty good guidance. SoFi got all the way up to 14s. All right, we're gonna short this here. We might add a little bit to it as long as it don't get faked out and it retraces back up. It's kind of looking like that now, huh? Yeah, we're just going to cut it immediately. I got to cut it quick there. Like, if I'm wrong about the level and it doesn't hold, I just got to get out. We'll play with it again tomorrow. Or later, I mean. Yeah, so Secretary Bessent speaking some today. Yeah, we got like the earnings we got bigger earnings this morning, I would say, than this evening. Like this evening we got Visa, Snapchat, and Starbucks. But we don't really have like, that's about it, right? And these might move markets, but they're not like, Snapchat's not really going to move the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ in any big way. Starbucks, maybe. Visa, maybe. But the big earnings really start tomorrow, which is we got like Humana, Caterpillar, Etsy in the morning. The big ones, though, Microsoft, Meta, Robinhood, QCOM, eBay, and more in the evening tomorrow. So tomorrow's a much bigger day for earnings, especially tomorrow evening. Yeah, Palantir's been running. See, look, here's another dip. I know I'm going to get a little greedy attacking this, but we're here to trade. We'll trade. The plan is to add to it if it retraces back up. Didn't really get a chance to. Not really a chance to add, but it's looking good. Let's see if we can find another add spot if we get like a little bounce. I don't want it to bounce right here though, at 490 or whatever this is, which it could, but. There we go. We'll try to add to it, but there we go. I'm going to take half off there and just protect the trade. I don't like holding through this. We're getting kind of whipped out a little bit this morning on this one, but I'd like it to keep breaking down, especially now that we're under 19.5s, but we made a little bit from it, but not a lot. Yeah, see, I was worried about it bouncing at 490. And now we're break even on the trade. Question is, do I want to add back? I guess I do, but I'm also worried. I'm going to try adding back to this one. We'll take 4 contracts. Or we'll take 3. Just because I think 19.5s could act as resistance now up there. And we'll see if we get a fall back down. I don't like that at all. I don't like the way this price action is moving here. So we're going to reduce size and be a little bit more loose on the rest. We'll give it a second now. Oof. Good thing I reduced size here. But man, oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. I'm mismanaging this. I didn't mean to jump in this. I got to cut it. Eey. Well, what am I down today? Yeah, I just mismanaged that. Look at that 19.5 level, acted as resistance perfectly. Glass hands for sure. Yeah, but I mean, if we lose $100 on this one today, we'll probably switch to a different account. A little whippy this morning too, so I'm not super mad about it. We got time. Yeah, we got some data today for sure. I don't even know what a market professional is. All I know is I'm not one right now. Top 3 worst trader of all time ever. Don't copy me. No, I mean, for this trade, me changing my mind was the right decision. I got in short around here. and I think it moved back up some. And so the way the movement was going, I didn't like it. And so, yeah, I think I'm okay with changing my mind, and I think I have to be a little risk averse, but it's all good. It happens. We're not going to be green every day. I mean, just to put it into perspective, we are green in every single one of our accounts. In terms of net P&L, right now we're green in every one. Yeah, definitely top 3 ever. Oh yeah, and I'm certainly not perfect. Like, I'm gonna mess up on some of these for sure. You know, that's how it goes. Yeah, I thought I needed to cut the loss quick. It's all right. You know how it goes. Honestly, if we reject 19.5s, I'll be even more mad. Let's see if the choppiness breaks. Yeah. All right, we're gonna short one contract. I think I'm gonna pivot back to one. The problem is my entries, though, dude. Like, I've been buying in and immediately down on some of these, so I have to just tweak my entries a little bit. Our risk here is 19.5s. I'm going to use like 19.503 probably. But see, I don't want it to hold that support at 19.5s though. So I give it a little bit over 19.5s, but we're basically right at my stop level. My hands are like right over it, but I want to give it a second. I don't really like that it's holding support here though. Yeah, we gotta cut it. All right, so we're gonna switch this account. We're just kind of getting beat up in this account. And then it honestly, oh, dude, that hurts. Look at that drop. Yeah, I gotta just wait a little while. I'm just getting faked out over and over again here. I honestly, I've been doing really good in the mornings. Really good in the mornings. But you know how it goes. Today, we're still green in the account, by the way. But today, not really doing good. And honestly, we're so choppy. I don't know if the market's waiting for Besant to speak. He's supposed to speak at 8:15 market time. Yeah, that one hurt. Although we did retrace right back up, so I honestly think we're just really tight ranging right now. Hey, bump those like buttons, guys. What likes are we at? I'd love 100 likes if we can get it. We're at 93. I'm not going to pressure you, but if you don't, I'll hate you forever. Do it now. Yeah, I'm trying to see. So in terms of speakers right now, right? In terms of speakers, we had Ecolab, NHTSS. Ford is recalling 128. Okay, so Ford had a huge recall this morning. So Ford, NHTSA says Ford is recalling 128,889 U.S. vehicles as loss of the rear view camera image can reduce the driver's view of what is behind the vehicle, increasing the risk of a crash. So Ford with almost 130,000 vehicle recall here this morning. Big recall. In terms of speakers, I don't think we have any Fed speakers today. What's today, the 29th? Where's Besant? This freaking guy. Dude, how do all... Listen, I'm not even trying to be political here. How do all 60 to 70-year-old Republican politicians look exactly the same? Bro, they look exactly the same. Like, what's the Texas... Who's the Texas politician? Hold on, let me see this. Greg Abbott. This dude looks just like Greg Abbott. I'm trying to see. I don't see anything about him speaking today. Where do you guys see he's speaking? Here, let me AI to the freaking rescue right now. You think you're smart until you gotta spell secretary. All right, so we're under 19.5s now. And I think we have to document maybe this level here, which is multiple confirmations on a short-term chart. 490 is what I was worried about. We'll leave that up. Oh, why is it blue? There we go. UPS is cutting 20,000 jobs as well, close to dozens of buildings due to lower Amazon volumes. Yes, it's going to cut 20,000 jobs this year due to loss of Amazon volume. The company also said it would not update its full-year outlook given the current macroeconomic uncertainty. The company had previously said it expected revenue in 2025 to be $89 billion. Yeah, I don't see he's supposed to speak today regarding Treasury Secretary Besant. John just traded the opposite of what you're thinking. We've all thought about it. You know, we've definitely all thought about it. Honestly, my short thesis would have worked. I think my risk area was probably a little too tight today. I think I zoomed in too much and it looked big to me, but it was too tight. But it's all right. We're back to the races today. We'll be fine. We're honestly still green in the other account too. I just gotta wait. What's up, Mr. Tomato Head? What's up, dude? I use a bunch of different AI systems, to be honest. SoFi and Palantir flying this morning. What about Tesla? Yeah, we got the import-export price data in 25 minutes. Chat, 25. Or the goods trade balance data for March. We got like goods trades. We got retail inventories, wholesale inventories, K-Shiller house price index at 9 a.m. We got Jolts, CB consumer confidence data later too. $8.30. Financial juice. Look at that pop up. See, just a lot of up wicks and down wicks, like just popping people out of stuff. It's trying to make me sign up. Oh, so he does speak today somewhere at 8:30. 25 minutes. We'll see what that looks like. Yeah, look at this move all the way back up here, guys. So look at this move. Very whippy right now. I can't really trade this. I tried, but... Hey, John, I don't chat much, but I listen to you about every morning. Hey, thank you so much, T-Head. Appreciate it, bro. All right, guys, we're up over 514s. So we're rebounding back up. There's the 200 exponential at 530s here as well. We're watching that also. All right, so look, we went up to I don't know if it was 520 or 515. I guess 515's right here. So, are we going to hold at 19.5s? I can't really trade this. We're so sideways right now. Unless I'm going to buy the bottom of the range and do the opposite of what I've been doing and short the top, I can't really mess with this right now. The range is too choppy, too sideways. All right, so we did reject there at 9.15. Here's 19.5s. But again, my hands are kind of off right now. I don't really want to mess with this. You know what I can trade right now? I can trade... Wait, what? I would say I have this Combine account I can trade. We'll have to trade regular NASDAQ futures, though. We're going to use 5 as resistance, but... Yep. This is a Combine account, by the way. I'm not actually down $400. I'm going to reduce my size by 1 just to protect it. I'm going to take my size off here again. So I'm trying to put windows up. I got too many freaking windows up right here. There we are. Okay, we found it. Do y'all want me to cover Besant or whatever his name is? Besant. I said I would never get it wrong. I guess I was wrong. Yeah, the pole is completely 50-50 split down the middle here. Honestly, the problem with this candlestick patterns recently is that, like, you'll get a trend and then you'll get one candle that just completely reverses the trend, and then you'll go back and, oh my gosh, dude, I am clicking so many buttons today for some reason. All right, I'm gonna cut that. I'm just clicking too many buttons. It's Besant, I think. 50% of the people who voted are wrong. Definitely wrong. You know, in a world where 50% of people vote red, 50% vote green. Maybe I should just not trade right now. It's probably the best move. Where's Besant speaking? We got 20 minutes now until whatever we got going on at 8:30 today. Yeah, K-Shiller date is at 9 o'clock though, so we still got some time before that. Would everybody be right or wrong in that situation, Ty? I feel like that would mean everybody was wrong. If we went green and red. Where's my AI system? Dude, I think one of my problems is my monitor's just too large. This thing's freaking huge, bro. All right, Basent, if you're speaking today, according to Financial Juice, you're not going to post about it, bro? Where are you speaking? Let me combine this. Oh, here we go. Let me combine this. I need one. SoFi over 14s, Palantir over 114s. I need one window instead of 5. There we go. That's better. But yeah, Financial Juice says he speaks today at 7:30 and 15 minutes is when they say he speaks. But I think we got K-Shiller at 9. Market might just be waiting. Pfizer expects 500 million savings from research and development simplification by 2026. They expect 600 million one-time costs through 2026 for research and development simplification. All right, guys. Hey. There's a debate going online, they say. And the debate goes, can 100 unarmed men defeat a single gorilla in a fight? Of course they could, bro. You know why? Here's why. The eyes. You take the eyes out. You know, bro, I could rear naked choke that thing. You know. And he don't know how to defend it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like I could. I don't know. But 100 people, bro? Of course they could. It's not even a question. All right, so the software rate came in at 4.36%. Yeah, so U.S. market futures lost a little bit of steam after GM cut earnings expectations. Contracts on the S&P were slightly unchanged, while Treasury yields did go up. So if we take a look at Treasury yields, guys. Are Treasury yields up or down? Let me see. So here's Treasuries. On a one-day perspective, they did increase. Okay, so Treasury yields up to 4.22%. So here's Treasuries, 4.22%. Can y'all see this? Yeah, 4.22%. And so that's usually pretty good. I thought I had another AI system here. There's the 10-year. Discord, NASDAQ, Financial Juice. The market is so flat right now. Sitting right around 19.5s. No? You don't think they could, William? Of course they could, bro. Come on now. Yeah, so higher yields, guys, there's a, like, okay. When bond yields go up, government debt becomes more attractive compared to equities. Right? Like, meaning, like, loaning the U.S. government becomes more attractive compared to equities. And so capital that might otherwise flow into the stock market can then go into, like, bonds instead because the yields are higher and people, like, gravitate towards higher bond yields. If yields are paying more, more people want bonds, right? If that makes sense. That can put downward pressure on share prices as well. And so yields going up can mean negative for markets. Like equity valuations rely on discounting future cash flows back to present value. So Treasury yields going up, the risk-free rate used in these models increases, which reduces the present value of those future earnings. Higher yields means investors demand a greater return to hold stocks, basically, is what that means, right? So if yields are high, I'll put it this way. If stocks are averaging 4% and yields are averaging 4.3%, why in the world would anybody hold stocks? Because they can earn more yield holding bonds, which are guaranteed, right? Versus stocks, which not so guaranteed. You could lose a lot. And so that's kind of the correlation between it. Yields also follow interest rates. And so if yields increase, that means interest rate sentiment, especially with like mortgages and stuff like that, is increasing as well. Oh, there would definitely be casualties. 100%. 100 mouse-sized tigers or one tiger-sized mouse? 100 mouse-sized tigers. Bro, I could punt that thing across the room, dude. I would just use my feet. I wouldn't even use my arms. You know? Because number one, I feel like I can make friends with the little mouse tigers. I feel like they could be my pets, basically. I'd have them like guinea pigs, you know. Sounds like a business opportunity. But Spotify posted, let's see. Yeah, so Spotify had a huge miss. 113 versus 221. They came in almost 50% worse than expected for Spotify EPS margins. That's one of the things that's like dragging everything down here. Here's Spotify. Spotify's only at 565s. So it's not the end of the world. Crude oil, yeah, crude oil's been struggling. SoFi had good numbers though. They're up. Crude oil's been down to almost $60 a gallon. Or no, not a gallon, a barrel. So crude been getting hammered during all this market weakness. If we take a look at it, here is, let's put a larger chart up here. Here's a 30-minute chart for crude. You can see a 4-hour chart for crude. You can put like a 1-day chart up. This is crude this year in the last 12 months. Crude has gotten absolutely hammered, back down to $60 a barrel. Look at the NASDAQ finally coming back down. I should have held the original short thesis here, chat. I should have done it. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah. Mouse-sized tiger is called a cat. It would maybe a kitten. Definitely lettuce hands. Pay-per-view gladiatorial games. What do you? Are we talking mouse-sized lion / tiger? The one I heard originally was the lion one. All right, guys. NASDAQ's flushing down here. Let's see if there's any news. Pfizer. Yeah, we got that news already. I think maybe people are just prepping. So we do have some economic data at 8:30 today. It's not a big release. It's the good trades balance. We're going to cover it. It's expected at minus 142.8 billion. Last time was a little bit greater negative margin by 147.85 billion. So they're expecting it to decrease negativity down to 142 from 147 billion. We also have core retail inventories. And apparently we got Besant speaking at 8:30 as well, although I don't really see where he's supposed to speak. See, sometimes AI is like, hey, he's not speaking. You got to send him a picture and say he is. AI, get it right. All right. I feel like they're going to come back being like he's not going to speak. Yep. NASDAQ still flushing down here. What's up, Sins? What bug of human size would be deadly? I mean, there's a lot of them, bro. Horseflies, wasps, bees, hornets, you know, prickly caterpillars. There's all kind of dangerous bugs if they were human-sized. All right, still break it down. We're at 470s now in the NASDAQ, 470s. I should have held my short position here. Guys, I should have held it. It's okay. Yeah, literally all of them. All right, so he is slated to deliver remarks at the Institute of International Finance's Global Outlook Forum held on the sidelines of the IMF World Bank spring meeting in Washington. Yeah. But I don't see him right now, dude. Again, we'll see if we'll cover his comments, but I don't think he's supposed to speak right now. I think Financial Juice might have that wrong. I see he spoke yesterday on at a White House briefing, but that's it. NASDAQ still flushing down. We're at 464s. We got about 6 minutes left. Again, and this is not the big report today. Again, the JOLTS report, the biggest, 10 a.m., 7.5 million expected. Last time we showed up at 7.56 million. And so that's the biggest report today by far, is the JOLTS report going live at 10 a.m. We also have CB Consumer Confidence at 10 a.m. All right, so yeah, apparently he is supposed to speak. I see White House press briefing with Secretary Leavitt and Secretary Bessent is what this is. So we'll cover it. I don't know if we're going to stream it, but we will cover what they say. Here it is. Yeah, so we'll cover what they say. Yeah, so we're here. We'll let you guys listen to some of it as well, is what we'll do. We'll see how this influences the market. Again, the big one is the JOLTS report today. The JOLTS job report is the biggest one. Yeah, we're going to cover it. What is the press conference about? I just see it's a White House briefing with Caroline Leavitt and Secretary Bessent. Bessent is actually how you pronounce it. So. I mean, we'll stream a little bit of it if you guys want me to, but we got that 8:30 release coming live in about 5 minutes of the good trades balance data. So. Oh my goodness. So, Dan, let me ask you a question. Do you think that you actually have to be a market professional to stream on YouTube? So, let me get this straight. You think that everybody streaming on YouTube is a professional at whatever they're doing? I can't just enjoy the finance markets. I don't even claim to be a good trader, dude. Like, my whole thing here, guys, let me do a little plug for my channel here. My whole thing is I give people free economic reports, free data as soon as it happens. I tell everybody what's going on in finance. I trade live so people can see what it's like. I don't even claim to be a good trader. And I think that's a valuable thing. People find value in it. There's a reason we got almost 1,000 people live right now watching me. But with that said, I'm the top 3 least financial professional in the world right now. Definitely top 3. I'm not in a suit. You know, I'm not wearing a suit right now. And Yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, cry about it. But, that's all I'm saying. The Jolts report is the big one today, though. Again, do you want to short this bounce, guys? I don't know if I want to. Hey, thank you, Robert. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir. John, how much would you need to get paid to do Jerome Powell's job? I'd do his job for free right now. Honestly. I'd do his job for free right now. You know why? Is because the influence that you would have being the FOMC chairman, even if it was just for a year, the influence that you would have for the rest of your life, you would be able to call yourself former FOMC chairman for the rest of your life. I'd do it for free right now. Hire me, guys. Listen. All right. Hire me. Do it now. My email's here, guys. All right. Chat. Less than 3 minutes here. Less than 3 minutes. They're supposed to speak right at 8:32 about Besant and Levitt. We'll see what that means. I'm not watching you. I'm playing Minecraft. I appreciate your contributions and style. Oh, you like my style. Listen. Don't boost my ego here, right? I got the top 3 stylish, attitudes in the world right now. Not stylish attitudes. What's the stylish style in the world right now? Don't fill my head up with more. I don't need it. I really don't. Top 3 biggest egos on YouTube right now. All right, guys, we're waiting for 8:30 here. We're waiting for 8:30. Do I want to short this? If we did have economic report coming out right now, I might short this. Again, we got the good trades balance showing up in core retail inventories, expected at minus 142.8 billion. What this is how much of imports versus exports we're doing. And so we are importing way more, about 142.8 billion more than we're exporting here, which obviously if you want to rebuild U.S. manufacturing, we want to export more. We want other countries to use our goods. Basically is how to understand goods trade balance data, which drops in about a minute. And so with that, again, right now it's expected to get a little bit better. We're exporting a little bit more than we were last time. Last time we exported way more or way less at minus 147.85 billion. Today we're expected minus 142.8 billion. So getting a little bit better in terms of imports versus exports. Still not good. Still 142 billion negative, number here, but still. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see what we get. Let's see what Besant says as well here. Enrique, bro, you would get guillotined in 5 seconds, bro. That's all I'm saying. We got 15 seconds, guys. 15 seconds. All right, here we go. Oh, get yields out the way. All right, here we go. And the good trades balance data drops 3-2-1 right now. Minus 161.9 billion. Whoa, so a much deeper negative number here. We are exporting way more than expected versus imports. We came in, we expected 142 negative billion. We ended up showing 162 negative billion, or minus 162 billion in terms of imports versus exports here, guys. So way more exports than expected, or way more imports than expected versus exports. We are now importing way more than we're exporting by a much larger degree than last time, as well as a much larger degree of imports versus exports than expected here at 162 billion negative imports versus exports, or exports versus imports, I should say. This might make the market react negatively. It's not a huge report, and we got the K-Shiller house price index data going live at 9 a.m. And then we got the Jolts report going live at 10 a.m., which is probably the biggest report of the day. Probably. Again, I'm not saying it is. It's probably the biggest report of the day. And so, and again, guys, listen, if you want to check out what I'm using here, I'm using Top Steps Funded Account Program. They give you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $50 for the base one. They give you a 50K demo. We actually put in a withdrawal request, a payout request for them. Still waiting to get it, but Yeah, and then once we do that, we'll probably switch over to their new dashboard. But yeah, if you want to check it out, great way to learn. Learning to trade in a structured environment with a funded account program is incredibly useful. Most day traders lose. I lost thousands when I first got started, and so this is just a great way to learn with less risk. If I fail this, I'm out $50 versus losing tens of thousands of dollars funding my own account potentially. And so again, if you want to check them out, here's the link. They are an affiliate of mine. I am biased because I get paid by them. Some would say I'm the top 3 most biased ever. You want to confirm with them everything. I can't guarantee anything. If you want to check out the link, it's right there. And yeah, I appreciate the love. I'll also pin this to the top of the page. Let me get this out the way. Yeah, but a lot more exports, or a lot more imports versus exports. 162 billion negative exports to imports. So yeah, not good. Not good. House price index comes out in about 30 minutes here, about 30 minutes. K-Shiller house price index. I'll put this data up on screen regarding the U.S. advanced goods trade balance data. I'll put this right here, right there. Much worse than expected. Let's take a look at gold. What's gold doing this morning here? Gold is Besant speaking right now? Hold on. I'm going to mute the background music. Hold on. I think they're late. They just haven't started yet. Let me check a different source. Yeah. I mean, I see them. I think they're late, though. Okay, they just haven't started yet. They're just late. We'll put the music back on while we're waiting for them. Yeah, 19.5s again, guys. I don't know what I want to do here. You know, we can try. We're in a combine account. So we could play with this in a combine account. See if we can get funded here. Oil's still coming back down. Yeah, so they haven't started speaking yet. We're waiting, though. I have merch. I don't try to sell them, though. I mean, it's not really my style. You can find them somewhere. They're like Teespring or something like that. You gotta search on my YouTube channel somewhere. But you should be able to find them somewhere. I don't know where they're at, but... yeah, I want to see how Besant's going to influence the market. For real, this channel saves my legs. Magic legs. All right, guys. I'm trading a combine account so I don't lose more in pre-market this morning. Risk management here. Nvidia at 108s. I appreciate it, Tiny. Thanks so much. Yeah, we got the Jolts report later today, right? That's the big report today. The Jolts report, Jolts job report. That's going to be probably the most influential report today. Aside from maybe Besant speaking. Maybe. Okay, here's... I don't know who these people walking in are, but it ain't them. I feel like Besant's going to say positive things, though, and that's the only reason I'm a little nervous about shorting here. This is a combine account. I'm just going to cut it. I feel like he's going to toe the company line a little bit, and I feel like he might say optimistic, positive things. I might be wildly wrong. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. But I think he's going to toe the company line a little bit, probably here, right? I think I have a shirt that says top 3, actually. Hold on. Teespring. Beginner trading. I gotta search myself. It used to be connected. Here, let me see. Bro, and I can't have a profitable trade today to save my life here, dude. There was a way. Merch, earn. Okay. Memberships, shopping. Brand connect. Oh, I think they like switched it. Oh, wait, this is for brand deals. I don't even see merch anymore. Do they have merch? Shopping? Oh, I think I gotta... They must have stopped their deal with Teespring. Oh, we got some stuff here, bro. Look at this. We got Don't Sue Me, Most Handsome Trader. I did these probably like 5 years ago. Apparel. Phone case. Drinkware. I kind of like this mug, though. I really do like this mug. Anyways. Is he speaking yet? Nope. All right, we got the K-Shiller House Price Index going live here. 9 a.m. And then Jolts report live later too. Let me schedule the stream actually. Spotify bouncing back. Spotify had a big miss in EPS. Where's Palantir? Palantir's still red, but kind of bouncing back. Amazon, 188. Apple, Tesla. Tesla honestly has had a big rebound back up too, man. Tesla, it's still at 280s. It's technically green on the day. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Caroline Levitt speaking right now. I don't think she's moving markets, so I'm not really going to cover it. It's a little bit too innately political for me. She's not wrong.
World in his first term as president, President Trump is in the process of doing that all over again. The American people trust in President Trump. Since his first day in office,
all right, I'm showing you guys this so you guys can hear it. I'll turn the volume up a little bit more so y'all can hear it a little bit better.
Bringing down the cost of living and making the United States the best place in the world to do business, invest, create jobs, and innovate. And President Trump's efforts are working. 345,000 jobs have already been added since the start of President Trump's term. Last month's jobs report saw nearly 100,000 more jobs than economists predicted, and it was the fourth highest month for private payroll growth in the past 2 years. 9,000 manufacturing jobs have been added to the economy already. This is a sharp contrast to the 6,000 manufacturing jobs that were lost each month in the final 2 years of the Biden administration. The U.S. employment rate remains at historic lows. And thanks to President Trump, Americans are seeing price relief for the first time in years. The last inflation report showed the first consumer price decline since the COVID pandemic, a decrease in energy prices, and real average hourly wage growth.
Markets are
President Trump
bouncing
is
back too.
delivering on his promises to lower costs for American families and businesses. Prices across the board for everyday goods have seen declines since this president was inaugurated. From airfare to used motor vehicles to prescription drugs, prices are dropping. In fact, last month's drop in the price of prescription drugs was the largest ever recorded. And after Joe Biden botched the response to the bird flu, President Trump and Secretary Yellen's aggressive plan
the markets
have
are
brought
bouncing
down wholesale
back
egg
on
prices
this.
more than 50% from Inauguration Day.
They're talking about egg prices
President
and
Trump
stuff.
ended Joe Biden's reckless war on American energy and fossil fuels and has restored American energy dominance. And Secretary Wright, Secretary Doug Burgum are working hard on that effort every single day. Oil and gas prices
a
are
little
now
bit too
way
political
down
for
because
me,
of
though,
this
guys.
bold approach. Gasoline prices down 7%. Energy prices are also down as well. The Department of Interior just announced a new offshore drilling policy that will boost oil production in the Gulf of America by 100,000 barrels per day. On the deregulation front, President Trump is committed to cutting senseless red tape, especially for America's small business owners who are the backbone of our economy. We know cutting regulation
agree with
leads
this,
to lower
chat?
costs and higher growth.
Let me know.
The mass deregulation effort by this administration will help usher in the golden age of America, which is underway. Immediately upon taking office, President Trump blocked all of the unfinalized Biden-era rules, saving America's more than $100 billion.
Look at the NASDAQ bouncing back, though. It's at 19,532s.
Over the next decade. And the president also launched a bold multi-agency effort to roll back existing federal regulations that drive up the cost of living on hardworking families. This effort is projected to yield significant cost savings in the coming months, including the EPA's rollback of tailpipe emission rules for light-duty and medium-duty vehicles and the Department of Transportation's latest corporate average fuel economy standards. These two efforts alone yield $755 billion in total savings, or more than $8,800 per family of four over the next decade. In total, the combined savings from all of these actions equal just over $935 billion, or nearly $11,000 in real savings per family of four per the coming decade. The press is not talking nearly enough about the positive impact of President Trump's deregulation campaign. And investments from the biggest companies and countries in the world are pouring in under this president. So far, total investment commitments under the Trump administration have reached more than $5 trillion, including $500 billion from Apple in U.S.-based manufacturing and training, $500 billion from NVIDIA in AI infrastructure, $100 billion from TSMC and U.S.-based chips manufacturing, and the $500 billion private investment by OpenAI, Oracle, and SoftBank in AI infrastructure as well. All of these investment commitments are estimated to generate at least 451,000 new high-paying jobs for American workers and families. At this point, President Trump has secured more investments in the United States of America in 100 days than Joe Biden did in 4 years. President Trump is America's businessman in chief, and that's why these trillions of dollars in investments are flooding to our country. The business community is bullish on America because President Trump is back in charge. Tomorrow, the president will host CEOs and leaders from several companies that have made these investments to tout their historic commitments to our country and encourage others to follow suit. Under President Trump, there has never been a better time to invest in America. And the president finally said enough is enough and refused to allow America and our workers to be ripped off any longer on trade. President Trump implemented powerful tariffs to end the era of economic surrender and to rebalance America's trading agreements. More than 100 countries have already come to the table looking to offer more favorable terms for America and our people. There has never been a president who has created his own leverage like this president, and we are just getting started. Republicans in Congress are getting very close to passing President Trump's one big, beautiful bill, which will include the largest tax cuts in American history, strong border security measures, major military advancements, dramatic deregulation, and common sense spending reforms. As President Trump has said before, the best is yet to come. For more on President Trump's economic successes so far and the plans ahead, I want to pass it off to our incredible Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, who is here today, and we will open it up to questions. In our new media seat, we have Brendan Peterson, the financial services reporter for Punchbowl News. Punchbowl News covers power, people, and politics based in Washington, D.C. Laser focus on Capitol Hill, the politics of legislating. Founded in 2021, and it is the first newsletter that Capitol Hill
says.
and the White House reads every morning in the middle of the day and throughout the evening.
All right,
Thanks
here's
for being
Besant.
here with us, and we'll start with you today.
Here's Besant.
Thanks so much for being here. I have a question for Secretary Besant. On tariffs, the president said over the weekend that we are hoping that maybe tariff revenues could replace income tax. But we also keep hearing about the deals that the administration is pursuing. So my question is, what is the White House's ultimate objective here? Do you want to have long-term tariff revenue or deals that might reduce those tariffs?
I think it's a combination of both. So we're going to take in long-term tariff revenue. We put a process in place. We have 18 important trading relationships. We will be speaking to all of those partners, or at least 17 of them, over the next few weeks. Many of them have already come to Washington. What President Trump is referring to is the ability for tariff revenue to give income tax relief. And I think there's a very good chance that we will see this in the upcoming tax bill. The president campaigned on no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and the restoring interest deductibility for autos, for American-made autos. So tariff income could be used for tax relief on all those immediately.
So you think that there is a role for significant tariff revenue in U.S. fiscal policy?
I think that it is something that got put away a long time ago, and I think that tariffs will bring back American manufacturing and generate substantial revenues.
On manufacturing, we've seen some pretty grisly surveys this month from the Philly Fed, which saw the biggest drop since May of 2020, and the Dallas Fed, similar plunging outlook, poor shipping orders. What are American manufacturers not understanding about your push for onshoring in the U.S.?
Well, I think I was in the investment business 35 years, and I learned to ignore the survey data and look at the actual data, and the actual data has been quite good. The job data is good. Americans keep spending, and as Caroline said, we have these incredible commitments to bring manufacturing back on shore with record investment by domestic corporations and foreigners who want to come into the U.S.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The Chinese continue to say that the U.S. and China are not engaged in any consultation or negotiation on tariffs. You recently said you've talked to your counterpart, but more about, quote, traditional things like financial stability. So can you clarify, is the administration talking to Beijing specifically about tariffs or not?
Well, we're not going to talk about who's talking to whom, but I think that over time we will see that the Chinese tariffs are unsustainable for China. I've seen some very large numbers over the past few days that show if these numbers stay on, Chinese could lose 10 million jobs very quickly, and even if there is a drop in the tariffs, that they could lose 5 million jobs. So remember that we are the deficit country. They sell almost 5 times more goods to us than we sell to them. So the onus will be on them to take off these tariffs. They're unsustainable for them.
And they are saying you guys are not talking about it. So is that true?
Look, they have a different form of government. They're playing to a different audience. So I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty again of who's talking to whom.
Market's
but
falling.
As I said, I believe for the Chinese, these tariffs are unsustainable.
And very quickly, 2 days ago, you said you didn't know if President Trump had spoken to Xi Jinping. Do you know now?
Again, I would say Caroline and I have a lot of jobs around the White House. Running the switchboard isn't one of them.
Bloomberg, go ahead.
Secretary Besant, thank you so much for being here this morning. You've talked
Spy
about
turning.
the importance of giving investors certainty when it comes to the market, yet the Trump administration is continuing to negotiate several complex trade deals in a very sort of compressed time frame. When do you expect you'll be able to give the market some certainty around those deals? Do you have a deadline? Is it the 90-day pause? What are we looking at here?
Good question. And I think one thing that has been a little disconcerting for the markets is, President Trump creates what I would call strategic uncertainty in the negotiations. So he is more concerned about getting the best possible trade deals for the American people. We had 4 years of bad deals for decades of unfair trading, and we are going to unwind those and make them fair. What we are doing is we've created a process. I think the aperture of uncertainty will be narrowing, and as we start moving forward announcing deals, then there will be certainty. But certainty is not necessarily a good thing in negotiating.
Mr. Secretary, last night there were reports on the administration sort of walking back a little bit on the auto tariffs. Can you sort of just elaborate on that decision there and what we can expect going forward, and why sort of the shift in those auto tariffs?
Well, President Trump has had meetings with both domestic and foreign auto producers, and he's committed to bringing back auto production to the U.S. So we want to give the automakers a path to do that quickly, efficiently, and create as many jobs as possible.
Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Thank you, Secretary. Back on China, does the administration anticipate supply chain shocks or supply shocks coming now that cargo shipments from China are significantly down? And if so, are there plans in the process of how to address that?
I wouldn't think that we would have supply chain shocks, and I think retailers have managed their inventory in front of this. I speak to dozens of companies, sometimes daily, but definitely weekly, and they know that President Trump is committed to fair trade and have planned accordingly.
And then second question, can you outline the timeline for when you think some of these deals, particularly with your Asian countries like India, Japan, South Korea, you may have an announcement?
I'm glad you brought up our Asian trading partners and allies. They have been the most forthcoming in terms of doing the deals. As I mentioned, Vice President Vance was in India last week. I think that he and Modi made some very good progress, so I could see some announcements on India. I could see the contours of a deal with the Republic of Korea coming together, and then we've had substantial talks with the Japanese.
Andrea.
Secretary Bessent, just continuing on the path of the sort of progress. You said yesterday, I think, that it was could happen as early as this week or possibly next week. Can you give us a bit of a timetable? And then I wanted to ask about South Korea specifically. They've said that they probably won't be able to make a comprehensive deal until early July because of their elections. Japan also has elections. And to what extent are domestic factors complicating your efforts? Canada just had an election. Are you seeing that you might have to think about delaying the 90 days?
Well, I would actually take the opposite tack, that I think from our talks that these governments actually want to have the framework of a trade deal done before they go into elections to show that they have successfully negotiated with the United States. So we are finding that they are actually much more keen to come to the table, get this done, and then go home and campaign on it.
So we have 5 minutes until the K-Shiller house price index data. I'm going to let this keep playing just because they're talking about tariffs and all kind of stuff. But we do have K-Shiller house price index data in about 4.5 minutes.
We are very close on India. And in India, just a little inside baseball, India, in a funny way, is easier to negotiate with than many other countries because they have very high tariffs and lots of tariffs. So it's much easier to confront the direct tariffs when, as we go through these unfair trade deals that have been put in over decades, that the non-tariff trade barriers can be much more insidious and also harder to detect. So a country like India, which has the posted and ready tariffs, it's much easier to negotiate with them. So I think the India negotiations are moving well.
Sean, go
Hi,
ahead.
Mr. Secretary. So it was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years? And I would also add that it's not a surprise because, as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should buy American. It's another reason why we are onshoring critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Market's
Jeff
falling.
Bezos still a Trump supporter?
Look, I will not speak to the president's relationships with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon. And Secretary, if you have anything to add.
NASDAQ
Yeah,
falling
I
here,
would also add that
19460s,
the,
19460s.
bringing down the terrible Biden inflation has been a priority for the first 100 days of the Trump administration, and President Trump has
Look at
done a
Amazon.
great job of leading that.
On the right.
Since January 20th, interest rates, mortgage rates are down, gasoline and energy prices are down. We're expecting the further decreases. And as Caroline said, the big tax on consumers that goes unnoticed is deregulation or regulation, and we are deregulating and bringing that down. So
Amazon
from a
down
household
big.
income point of view, we would expect real purchasing increases. We've seen them over the first 100 days, and we would expect that to accelerate. We are doing peace deals, trade deals, tax deals, and deregulating. And the deregulation is a longer lead time, but I think by the third and fourth quarters, that's really going to kick in.
Kelly, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. A question for you and Secretary Bessent. We talk a lot about volatility and uncertainty in the marketplace, and the president has stated all along that he's more concerned about mainstream America, the American worker. You just talked about deregulation and this entire fair trade and reciprocals.
Okay,
What is
we
your
have K-Shiller data in about 1 minute. 1 minute.
in terms of letting them get through this disturbance and the outcome being greater and a greater good for the American worker, the American people, the American families?
I would say trust in President Trump. There's a reason he was reelected to this office. It's because of the historic success of his economic formula in the first term, and as I laid out at the beginning of the briefing and the Secretary has talked about and the President talks about every day.
50
There's
seconds.
a proven formula that works. Massive deregulation, energy independence, and tax cuts, which are coming. And the Secretary is working very hard on that with our counterparts on Capitol Hill. If you want to talk about that, that's a huge deal to put more money back into the pockets of hardworking Americans. As for the fair trade deals the president is trying to negotiate, he's not just righting the wrong of the mess that he inherited from the past 4 years of the Biden administration. This is a mess that has been created for the past 4 decades that has sold out the middle class, that has moved jobs overseas.
All right, guys. So here's the K-Shiller data. I'm gonna pause this. They're not really talking about markets right now, and we have K-Shiller data dropping literally right now. So I do want to cover the K-Shiller data release, which is happening right now. Expected at 4.6%. It drops in 3, 2, 1. K-Shiller house price data came in at 4.5% versus 4.6%. 4.5% versus 4.6% for the K-Shiller data. A little bit weaker housing data than expected. It showed up at 4.7% last time. This one showed up at 4.5%. They expected 4.6%. So a little bit weaker than expected.
As Caroline said,
We'll put this back up now, but I wanted to cover that real quick.
The tax bill is going much better than I would have thought when took office on January 28th, and that's through President Trump's leadership. That Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune are united. Speaker Johnson, we had a very good meeting yesterday with somebody called the Big Six, NEC Director Kevin Hassett, myself, Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, Committee Chairman Jason Smith, and Senator Crapo. And the tax bill is moving forward. It is going to give permanence to the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act, which will, back to the question on certainty, it will give American business certainty, it will give American people certainty, and then
NASDAQ
Trump
falling.
is also adding the things for working Americans that is talked about earlier, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, making auto payments deductible. So that will substantially address the affordability crisis. And the other thing that I would note, and back to data, is that the Vanguard, one of the largest money management firms in America, said that over the past 100 days, 97% of Americans haven't done a trade, and in fact, individual investors have held tight while institutional investors have panicked. So individual investors trust, investors trust President Trump.
Megan, in the back.
Can you detail for us exactly what we should expect as far as relief on the auto tariffs front? And then further, Mr. Secretary, should we expect other industries to also get relief the way we've now seen for auto and tech as well?
I'm not going to go into the details of the auto tariff relief, but I can tell you that it will go substantially toward reshoring American auto manufacturing. And again,
Amazon
the goal
testing
here
lows,
is to
184.
bring back the high quality industrial jobs to the U.S. President Trump is interested in the jobs of the future, not the jobs of the past. We don't need to
Amazon cracking
necessarily
lows.
have a booming textile industry like where I grew up again, but we do want to have precision manufacturing and bring that back. And another important, very important function of this that does not get talked about enough is national security. President Trump, his overriding concern and belief is that economic security is national security is economic security. And we saw during COVID that our supply chains got cut off. And we need to bring back a lot of those supply chains, whether it's in semiconductors, medicines, the steel, and we have to onshore those. So it's a combination of making trade free and fair and remedying this gaping national security hole that he was left with.
If I could on
I
China.
would just add, Megan, the president will sign the executive order on auto tariffs later today, and we will release it as we always do. Go ahead.
All right, so let's see if we get a rebound bounce here at 19.4s. I'm kind of buying this dip on a combine account just to see if we can get some type of relief
Do you have
bounce
any
from all this
updates on the
red.
negotiation with the European Union?
I'm more involved in the Asian negotiations. My observation
combine
would be,
account, so if
goes
we
all
fail,
the way back
not
to
the end of
Henry
the world, but-
Kissinger's statement, when I call Europe, who do I call? So we're negotiating with a lot of different interests. Some of the European countries have put on an unfair digital service tax on our big internet provider. France and Italy, other countries, Germany and Poland, don't have that. So we want to see that unfair tax of one of America's great industries removed.
Remember,
So
this is not a
it's
real
gonna be
account.
give
I'm
and
trading.
take.
It's a combine
So they
account.
have some internal matters to decide before they can engage in an external negotiation.
Edward.
Thanks, Caroline. Mr. Secretary, so contacts I have in the business community say that they're basically frozen for long-term investment because of the uncertainty around tariffs. How long do you think President Trump has to make a deal before there's damage to the economy?
Yeah,
Look,
so we
I
lost that
think
one.
that
We'll
what we're
switch
seeing
back to our funded
is
account now.
that business leaders, they've gone into a pause, and I think we're going to give them great certainty on this tax bill. And I think over the next couple of weeks, as I said, we have 18 important trading relationships. We'll put China to the side. 17 are in motion. And then, as I said yesterday, I think there's a very good chance we're going to get this tax bill done. And the tax bill is going to be very powerful for domestic U.S. investment. So what we are going to do, one of the most powerful parts of President Trump's 2017 tax bill was full expensing of equipment. We are going to make that, as President Trump said in his speech to Congress, that will be retroactive to January 20th. The other thing that we are looking to add is full expensing for factories. So bring your factory back. You can fully expense the equipment and the building. We will couple that with deregulation, cheap energy, and regulatory certainty, and that will continue to make the U.S. the greatest destination for domestic and foreign investment.
How long is he supposed to
If I can
speak?
follow up,
Does anybody
the
know?
president said that world leaders would like to meet with him in Rome, in Vatican City, about trade. Other than President Zelensky, who did the president meet with and about trade, and when could we get some of those deals?
The president met with President Zelensky, as you know, which we talked about, and the president continues to be engaged with his fellow fellow leaders around the world in the European Union. You've seen many of them visit the White House. I want to harp on, in closing, the point the Secretary just made. On the campaign trail, the president
so they're about to close.
promised the American public that he was going to make America the best country in the world to do business again. The lowest taxes, lowest regulation, lowest energy costs of anywhere in the world. And if you do business in the United States, you won't pay a tariff, you won't pay a price. That's not just good for companies around the world, but it's good for the American worker. That's what this team is focused so hard on every day. We have work to do. The golden age of America is underway. But as I pointed out in the beginning, there's a lot of reason for the American consumer, the American CEO, the American small business owner to be confident and optimistic about this president and where we're headed. So you will hear more from the president himself later this evening. He is traveling to Michigan, as you all know. He'll make a stop at the Air Force Base with Governor Whitmer, and then we will head to a rally tonight where you'll hear more from him directly. So we'll see you in Michigan. Thank you, guys.
All right, so that's it. Yeah, a couple things. So the market is absolutely down from this speech. The main reason it's down, and again, if you saw me try to catch bottoms in my demo account, challenge account, don't judge me too much. Like I kind of told myself I wasn't going to trade my funded account until the opening bell, so I'm kind of horsing around I was thinking that they've said enough red things, maybe they'll say some optimistic things. And honestly, we got in at 400, just a little bit early, a little bit too tight of risk here on my challenge account. The reason the market is down right now, just to put this into perspective, is because Treasury Secretary Bessent just said some very negative things about Amazon, right? Amazon dropped drastically from this report, and Amazon's one of the top 7 most heavily weighted stocks in the world. Look at Amazon. Amazon dipped all the way down to 184s. This was at 190 basically prior to this speech. All the way down to 184. This drop in Amazon is consequently dragging the rest of the market down 100%. Like, that is what's going on right now. This drop is absolutely dragging everything else down. Now, we had the K-Shiller data. K-Shiller data showed up slightly under expected. But the reason the market is down right now is absolutely from Amazon dropping down, tariff news, and stuff like that from Treasury Secretary Bessent. Now, remember, guys, we got the Jolts report in 50 minutes. I'll put a timer up. The Jolts report is a very large report today. A very, very large report today. And so it's an important report that you probably want to pay attention to. And again, we're going to stream it live. We're going to trade live at the opening bell starting pretty soon here. Yeah, and we'll see what that looks like. Here is when the Jolts report goes live. We'll put the timer up right here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I try not to get too political, but I also try to cover things that are going to influence the market. And I could recognize immediately that we're going to talk about tariffs. Look at Amazon cracking lows of the day again, down under 183s now. Under 183s. And again, today, chat, we have the Jolts job report. We got the K-Shiller house price index. We just got all kind of stuff going live today. So just stick around. We're going to cover it. We're going to trade the opening bell live. We got the Jolts report going live. Yeah, just be ready. Again, 10 a.m. Jolts report is expected today at 7.5 million, basically 7.49 million. Last time showed up at 7.56 million. So they are expecting a contraction. And just to put this into perspective, the Jolts report shows economic growth through jobs, right? And what do we mean by economic growth through jobs? We mean the more jobs that open up, the more businesses are expanding, and thus we have economic growth, right? Like, that's what the Jolts report is showing today at 10 a.m. And yeah, we're going to be tuning into that live, as we always do. So yeah, just be ready. And we'll put the music back up. Sorry, let me reduce the sound. I'm sure the music's kind of loud right now. Let me know if this is loud enough for the music. I turned the volume down a little bit. I can turn it back up some if I need to. I just wanted to make sure you could hear Bessent speak. Right. And so I know some people might be mad about the political topics here, but they're moving markets. If they move markets, we're covering it. And again, this speech from Bessent and Levitt definitely moved markets. Amazon immediately, as soon as they announced all that stuff, just tanked, went really red on the day, down under 183s. Scary market right now, chat. Scary market. Music is good? All right, cool. And again, we got Jolts report going live at 10 a.m., so stick around. NASDAQ falling down here, falling down. We're going to get ready to trade the opening bell, chat, so be ready. The JOLTS report going live 10 a.m. CB consumer confidence drops as well. We got JOLTS reports. Okay. Whew. JOLTS job report going live 10 a.m. Chat 10 a.m. Again, we got the JOLTS job report going live. NASDAQ still kind of creeping down. I'm not really interested in buying this up on my actual funded account because Amazon is sitting right parked at freaking Lowe's right now. Not the store. Y'all be freaking careful right now, dude. Alright, what do we got? We got one more. Yeah, we get that done. Alright. JOLTS report live 10 a.m. today. We're going to trade the stock market open. Time to short the market. I work in retail. I'm ready to go through empty shelf phase again. Do y'all think we'll go through an empty shelf situation? Is what I'm asking. Do y'all think we'll go through an empty shelf situation? Amazon's starting to rebound back up a little bit. You know, I'm going to go back and trade the account I was trading on this morning, to be honest. I'd rather trade this one. We're still green on this one. It's the freshest one. Should I send this? Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, look at Amazon bouncing back here. Do I want to buy the bottom here? I don't think so, not yet. I'm going to wait until after the opening bell, dude. I get much better results after the bell. I'm gonna buy this. I changed my mind. We'll hold the rest break even now, though. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that right there. We made a little $15 bill. I'll take it. Green is good. And what I'm wondering is, like, I had... There it is. Bull or bear right now, chat. Bull or bear. I'm gonna end this poll. We got about 1,000 votes on the poll. I'm gonna end this one. Am I too loud right now? Whoa. Am I too loud right now? Or am I just right? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is the music too loud? Music is loud. Upsetting boomers. Got it. Music is fine. Loud. The nature of the internet. You're perfect. I know, bro. Don't tell me. I know. Good? Alright, cool. Are you bullish or bearish today? For today's opening bell. And Jolts report. We'll add that. Are you bullish or bearish for today's Jolts report, opening bell, all that stuff? All right, looking at our poll numbers here, 44% are bearish, 36% are bullish, 14% are neutral, 7 honest folks says I don't know. Yeah, I changed the music to more like suspense music. You know, I mean, I can listen to like the Brady Bunch music, but I don't know if it bodes well for like market stream, you know? Like I've tried and it's like do 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 do. I don't know, maybe it's calmer, but win Tesla 200? I don't know, win Lambo. Not right now for me. I don't have a Lambo. I wouldn't buy a Urus though. Like I don't understand the Urus. Like, if I wanted a hatchback, I'd just buy, like, a JDM hatchback and throw some big motor in it with a turbo or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to spend 400 grand on a hatchback. I don't understand it at all. I really don't. I don't understand the Urus. And it's basically a hatchback. Like, we can pretend it's not. By calling it an SUV, it's a hatchback. You know? If I'm going to buy a Lambo, I'm going to buy a freaking Lambo. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look cool enough to spend 300K on. It's definitely not fast enough to spend 300K. I just don't understand it. Why music at all? Because it'll get dull in here. Lambo yacht? I'm not buying one of those either. Yeah, that's probably true. Because you were not rich, man? That's probably true. I would say I'm like upper middle class. I'm not really claiming to be like super rich. You know? Like I'm definitely not struggling. But I'm also, I wouldn't say I have FU money either. You know? start singing, y'all are gonna have to donate much more for that. There is no necessity to look cool. Okay, listen. If you're buying a Lambo, there is. Okay? Like, we could all pretend like we're buying a Lambo because I just like the feel of the car. Nah. You want to turn heads with the Lambo. Nobody buys a Lambo not to turn heads. You don't want a sleeper Lambo. Okay? Anybody spending $300K is going to want to look cool in it. I definitely don't want to look uncool in it, you know? And so if I'm spending $300,000 on a vehicle, you better believe I better look the coolest. Like, in terms of the top 3 coolest people ever, I better be in that list if I'm buying a freaking Lambo driving down the street. There's no freaking way I'm going to spend $300K. We can all act like we're not buying these things to look cool. Of course you are. Nobody spends $300,000 on a car not to look cool. I don't care what you say. People can say, oh, I don't care about what people think. Of course you do. You know, if that was the case, you'd buy a Kia Stinger or whatever they're called. You know what I mean? Nobody's buying a Lambo not to look cool. All right, guys. Tesla. Will Tesla break 300 this week? That's the question I have for you guys today. Do you think Tesla breaks 3? Amazon's still reeling from this report. Tesla at 285s. About $15 away per share from 300s. People buy Lambos because economically they are a good buy. I don't think any $300,000 vehicle is economically a good buy. You know? I just don't. Like, even if you got $1 million, you're gonna spend a third of that money on a freaking car? That's not a good buy. I don't care how much money. I don't care if you got $1 million. In order to justify buying it, you need I would say you need like 15 million to justify buying a Lambo. If you're buying a Lamborghini and you only make like $500K a year, you're making bad decisions. Unless you can write it off in some way or the other. I do understand the Urus. I don't know how much the Urus weighs. In order to write it off for the IRS, it needs to weigh over like 6,500 pounds or something. And so, and I don't think the Urus weighs that much. So, yeah, that's what I was just thinking, Kudo. I don't know. I don't think it weighs enough. I think it's just under. And I think the limit is 6,500 pounds to make it a work vehicle, but I'm not 100%. Bro, people buy Lambos because it's a flex, 100%. Most of the time, at least. No, we don't have the report came. So we had the K-Shiller came in a little bit under expected house price wise. We had the good trades balance showed up. We are importing way more than we're exporting. And now we got the Jolts report going live in about 35 minutes or so. 35 minutes for the Jolts report. So that's happening right now. The Jolts report goes live in 30 minutes. We got the opening bell in about 5 minutes. The market, since Besant kicked it down, has been trending sideways. Very slow, very boring, very sideways neutral trend here. Amazon is what tanked the market after Besant came out pretty aggressively against them. In terms of like talk with other countries, Amazon ended up dipping down on a percentage basis. What was this? They fell about $4 a share. Amazon's about $200. Amazon dropped about 2%. From this, about 2% decrease in Amazon from Besant speaking regarding them, and that 2% dip in Amazon ended up dragging the NASDAQ back down with us as well. And so now we're starting to rebound a little bit. 420 or 425 seems like a level though here. So we're starting to rebound back up some, and we'll see if we hold. We got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. If you have a lot of money, you buy expensive things. Yeah, I mean, kind of. It depends, though. Like, I think smart people do this, right? Smart people buy things that are expensive, but that will probably go up in value regardless. An example of this is like a Rolex watch, right? You buy a Batman, or you buy a Bluesy, or you buy a, you know, even like an AP or a Patek. A lot of those are going to increase in value over the years, right? So you could buy a cool watch, wear it for 5-10 years, and then if you want to buy another one, you could sell the one you got for probably more than you paid for it. And so you're still going to make money wearing that watch most of the time. Now, that's not a bad buy in my opinion. But if you buy a Lambo, bro, in 5-10 years, that thing's going to depreciate so heavily. And it's just not a justifiable expense. Now, if you got FU money, it doesn't freaking matter, which I don't have FU money. I'm not about to buy a Lambo. I got 3 cars anyway. I don't really need, you know. And again, they're not super fancy cars. Put it in perspective. I mean, they're not bad. Y'all might think they're fancy, but I digress back to the point. Most people making smart financial decisions, even if you have money, you don't want to waste it. Anyways, market's bouncing back a little bit. Amazon at 184s. Yeah, and if you don't think Rolex is increase in value, let me show you guys a chart here. This is Rolex price graph over the last 10 years. It moves similar to the S&P. It grows about 5 to 10% a year on average in terms of averages. And honestly, to be honest, right now is a time in which accumulating Rolexes, I'm not going to say it's good financial decision because you don't freaking know what Rolexes are going to do. And there's some risk to it as well. Like the problem is that the fakes, they're called super clones, are getting so incredibly close to the real thing that unless you open up the back and look at the movement, it's very difficult to tell. It's very difficult to tell. But with that said, Rolexes generally increase in value. And at the very least, they hold their value versus, you know, like a supercar of some sort that's probably going to decrease in value over time. Much higher probability of that, at least. So yeah, real estate, I'm a big believer in real estate, 100%. Real estate's one of the best ways because real estate, and again, I'm not an investment professional. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything I say. Don't copy me. Don't sue me. You're not going to win. Understand all this stuff on screen. Can't guarantee anything. Top 3 least market professional in the world right now. But if you do the math behind a rental property, they just make sense. Okay, and here's why. So say you spend $300,000 on a rental property. It can't be too expensive because then you're going to have a hard time finding tenants. But let's say that rental property increases by about 4% a year, which is probably about average, right? Within 20 years, that $300,000 rental property, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That 300K property is going to more than double. It's going to be up over 100% within 20 years, most likely, at least in terms of property value. And so you're going to appreciate and make money most of the time over the long run. It has to be the long run. In a 5 or 6 year period, you don't know what's going to happen in the housing market. But over a 10 or 20 year period, it's pretty probable you're going to earn some good money from it as long as you buy it in the right spot. In terms of rental income, let's say from that $300,000 property, you make about $2,500 a month, right? Just like your property increases over time, you're going to be able to ask for more property. All right, there's the opening bell. We'll go through this later. Point is, your rental income is going to increase over time as well as the home appreciation. And so you got double the gains on it. Anyways, there's the market open. Let's check out to see what we get here. I'm going to wait 3 or 4 minutes until the market opens to try to find some good stuff. But yeah. All right, guys, we're about 40 seconds into the opening bell. You can kind of see I'm watching Amazon this morning at the open. More than anything else, I'm watching Amazon very closely to influence my futures day trading. Palantir popping up almost up to 115s this morning. Meta has earnings tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow Meta has earnings as well. I'm going to be watching Meta as well. We're creeping up. Opening range breakouts can be powerful for sure, towers. They really can be. They can be powerful. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, that's what I'm trading on. I have 3 Top Step funded accounts. 3 Top Step funded accounts. Top Step gives you a 50K demo for the base one. It's only $50 a month. If you can make 3K without losing 2K on that demo, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, as long as you follow their rules and conditions. Reasonable ratio. And so it creates the best of both worlds scenario. If you fail, you're out $50. It's not the end of the world. Great way to learn. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K in profit. Very similar to funding your own account in that regard. And they've paid out hundreds of millions of dollars to their traders. They fund thousands of traders, and it's just a great way to learn. A great way to learn. If you want to check them out, again, it teaches you how to trade in a structured environment. That's a powerful thing. And their new dashboard is really nice, really nice. Again, if you want to check it out, link is pinned at the top of the page. I also put the link up in chat. Again, I'm going to put my disclaimer up. Not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything. You want to confirm it all with them first. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance, have limitations. Guys, so we broke over 450 here, chat. 450. Amazon rebounding pretty significantly at the opening bell. I'm not allowed to trade until about 3 or 4 minutes after the open. And so I'm not allowed to trade until 3 or 4 minutes after the bell. We're going to sit tight and wait. We are red in this account today for sure, but that's all right. All right, Amazon coming all the way back up here, chat. Amazon all the way back up. Let's see if there's any news to justify this for Amazon. Coca-Cola does not see... Okay, so World Bank forecasts a 12% fall in global commodity pricing during this year of 2025, and then further downside in 2026 as growth weakens. Commodity price declines could moderate near-term upward inflation risks from tariffs. And according to the people close to the White House, the deal with Japan is still not ready to be announced. It could be a week away or so. Negotiations center on Japan buying from the Alaska LNG pipeline, but India is there, according to FB citing sources. I'm going to buy this dip right here. Very small trade, and we will add a little bit to this real quick right here. See if we get a pop back up. It's a little close to the bell, but I don't hate this price action. We'll see if we get some good movement here. Yeah, that turned into resistance. We cut it. But we have another position here. Okay, right back up. Looks a little heavy though. That's my only worry. I like to bounce originally, but it does look kind of heavy here. Yeah, just looks a little too heavy. It might retrace back up, but we got to trade small and pretty easy here. And yeah, look, there's the heaviness show up. If Amazon gets down to 185s, we might buy this though. We'll take another swing here. Oof. Getting chopped out this morning over and over again on this account. I'm gonna have to switch accounts. Tesla has turned deep red here. Deep red. I'm just not having good results in this account today. I gotta switch to the other one. I'm gonna pull up my other account. I'm just not doing good in this one today. Trying to make sure I'm trading the right one. Okay, good. Yeah, here's my other account. I want to just make sure I'm trading the right one. A lot of red showing up in markets, guys. Wow. Look at Tesla. Whoa, Tesla down to 283s here. Looking brutally red. See if 450 turns into resistance here. All right, so we did get shorted another position here. I'm going to take half off there and lock it in, and then we'll get out the rest there. So we did have a couple strings of green trades in the other account that I decided to start trading off stream because it was just a little bit too risky. Here, we're jumping back in one micro contract here. We only got ourselves back to where we're down 50 bucks on the day, so we got a little bit more cushion here. I want to see if 450 rejects. Back down. There we go. We'll add to it too if we get some confirmation here. Hold the rest break even maybe. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut out right there. We just made about $23 or so from that one. We are now only down in this account that we've been trading on. What are we down? $34. So, yeah, we're still green in that account. Again, remember, guys, we got the Jolts job report in about 23 minutes. 23 minutes, so y'all be ready for that. NASDAQ's pumping down here. See if we go green on this account for the day. Look at this red candle showing up. Look at Tesla fall. Palantir fall. Meta fall. I sound Midwest right now. Use guys. Tesla's down. 281s right now, chat. 281s. Do I want to short this little bounce? Kind of. Will I regret not shorting it? SoFi's up 8%. Hey, see you, Tiny. Have a great day. Good luck on the dog walk. I should have shorted. Look at Tesla down to 280s right now. 280s. Amazon down to 184s. Sheesh. Looking scary right now. For Tesla, that is. Amazon down too. It's kind of testing these lows. Remember, guys, we got the Jolts report at 10 a.m. I thought I had a job report thumbnail. I do somewhere. I'll have to find it. Where's my Telegram at? I should have shorted where I wanted to. It's too late now, though. All right, we got GDP data, PCE data, and all kind of stuff tomorrow here. Tomorrow's the craziest day in markets, but we got 20 minutes until the Jolts report goes live. Let me know if you guys think we'll get good action today or not. We're getting close, man. All right, chat. You guys ready? Look at this rebound back up here. I'm trying to see what stock is causing it. Apple is driving this back up. Apple over 210s right now. Look, we bounced right at that 400 level too, so it's giving me a little bit more optimism in that spot. I'm worried we're going to chop leading into jolts. We got CB consumer confidence as well. I thought I had a jobs. All right, we're over 450. Are we gonna chop? I don't know. Yeah, so Morgan Stanley upgrade. All right, so we're back down under this level here. I kind of want to short, but it's a little unknown here as well. Maybe it's a little late short. We can add into 450s. See if we get a pull back here. There we go. Took half off there. We hold the rest break even or so, but we're kind of ripping over that quickly here. There we go. All right, we're out. We just made another like 30 or 40 bucks. We're pretty much flat on the day now, so we actually fought our way back pretty nicely in this account. Yeah, we're flat on the day. We got a chance to go green. I wanted to short another pop here, but I think I'm just going to wait now on this. All right, now we're moving back up. We're right around that 200 exponential. I'm watching like 475 and 19.5s. We've tested 19.5s a lot. So here's 475s. Look at that. We tapped it. I'm going to short up here, I think. We'll add one if we get up to 475s like this, and then we'll just sit tight. See what it does at the 200 exponential. Amazon's looking a little heavy. Flat so far. I'm going to let it test the 200 exponential, but I'm going to take half off right there just because we got a little cheap exit on one of our contracts. Preserve our risk a little bit here. And lose less than we would have. Kind of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. I'm watching Amazon very closely. I want to see if Amazon gets over the VWAP and continues back up. What we have right now is NVIDIA rising up. NVIDIA up to 109s. Chat, 109s. So we got 19.5s getting close to us here too. Nvidia's pushing up. Apple's really ripping up. It's at 210s. We'll probably stick around too because we got the Atlanta Fed GDP data Apple at 210s, 211s. Here's 19.5s. Don't want to short 19.5s. I'll try it. We'll short a small piece and then add to it if it goes green, and if not, we'll just cut it for small. Okay, there's a little green. I would add to it. I don't want it to bounce at the 200 exponential down here, which it certainly could. Yeah, I'm going to cut that and get out flat on that trade. It held at that 200 exponential and ended up coming back up. So we got out flat, which is good. And we avoided this big pop here too. So I like that exit. It's much better. Look at that surge here, chat. Wow. And again, this is heading into the Jolts report. Let me see if there's any other big news waiting the market right now. UK Chancellor Reeve says he will publish draft legislation for crypto assets today. Bitcoin, on the other hand, today. Apple's still surging up to almost 211s. Bitcoin still at 95s. Let me get rid of 490 here. Yeah, I'm looking at Amazon. Amazon's kind of middle range right now since the opening bell, although it does look kind of strong. I'm going to buy the 500 dip now, switch sides. We're going to cut that, get out green. We got the 500 bounce, so that worked. And again, Apple's still surging up. We got the Jolts report in 10, 11 minutes now. This 30 level has been a level since yesterday when I was on Top Step TV. Citigroup CEO says there's no plans to do a stock split. We got exactly 10 minutes from now, chat. Exactly 10. All right, so here's the retest of 19.5s. I'm not going to mess with the retest here. We're basically flat on this account now, so that's good. We got a little bit of time. I'm going to wait for the Jolts report, and then we got Atlanta Fed GDP Now data going live at, I think it's like 10:30 market time or so. Jolts report expected here. I'll put this up on screen. Alright, so here's the Jolts numbers showing on like what's expected. There's the Jolts numbers right there showing what's expected. China waives tariffs on U.S. ethane imports, according to Reuters. This might be helping markets right now. Again, China waives tariffs on U.S. ethane imports, according to Reuters. That might be dragging the market up. Look, so look here's the news that just dropped. that probably popped it up. This candlestick is probably on the China waiving tariffs on U.S. ethane imports, according to Reuters, citing sources. All right, chat. A couple minutes before the Jolts report is live. We see strength, but I'm also worried about kind of consolidation leading into this report. I'll buy a dip if we get it, but oof, bad time to buy the dip. I'm gonna cut half of this. See if we retrace back up, but big red candle. And we've tried to get green in this account a couple different times. We're actually green on the account total, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right here. We lost 30 bucks there. It could have been worse. I'll switch accounts now. We got this one up anyway, so. Look at this surge up here, guys. I don't know what this is, but something popping markets up right now. All right, we got the Jolts report going live in about 6 minutes. Weird price action. Very sideways, consolidation heavy. I'm gonna get rid of 515 as a level here, and I'm gonna just keep these two up. Probably keep 525. I like these a little bit cleaner. Such a sideways, kind of whippy market right now. Jolts report goes live in 5 minutes, chat. 5 minutes. We got about 1,000 here. Give me a subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a follow on x.com at beginner trades on x.com. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule. And futures is what we're day trading. Big old brutal drop and then a quick old retracement back up here, man. Weird. I'm trying to see what's tanking this market here. We're getting so whippy right now in markets, chat. So whippy here. Huge green candle. And it looks strong too, but like we'll see if it actually holds. Popping right back up here. All right, we got the Jolts report in less than a couple minutes here. All right, Jolts report in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Very sideways, kind of rangy price action leading into it. We'll short this. See if we range back some more. Maybe not. I was hoping we range, but we are not reading the market very well today. It's probably not my day to take risk. I'm going to cut that and just wait. Yeah, it's just not my day to take risk, I don't think. Did I get a Discord notification? Yeah. Very sideways price action. We got a minute and a half chat until Jolts. Minute and a half until Jolts goes live. Okay, guys, we got less than a minute. Less than a minute here. Thirty seconds. 30 seconds. $20 seconds. All right, this timer's a little bit early. 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Jolts report showed up at 7.19 million. 7.19 million. Weaker than expected at 7.19 million. Showed a weaker economy than expected. 7.19 million. The market is negatively reacting so far, but really whippy here. 7.19 million for Jolts. CB consumer confidence showed 86, weaker than expected as well. 86 weaker than expected as well. We are chopping back and forth here, but slightly down after this Jolts report goes live. Again, 7.19 million versus about 7.5 million expected. The market is negatively reacting so far to this report. Under the 200 exponential now, but again, 7.19 million. 7.19 million versus 7.5 million roughly expected here. We'll put this up on screen. CB consumer confidence showed weaker as well than expected. Weaker as well. 7.19 million for Jolts. 7.19 million versus 7.5 estimate. CB consumer confidence showed 86 versus 87.7. Market is kind of, sometimes the first move is the wrong move, as we say here a lot, and market's popping back up some here. We'll see if it holds. Markets pump it up. Maybe this means more optimism regarding rate cuts. Let's take at the rate cut expectations again. You can see the data up on screen. It's in yellow right now. Slightly better than expected JOLTS report here. And the market, honestly, is loving this data here. Look at this move, chat. Wow. Huge pop, huge surge. Wow. Markets are mostly up from this report. Very whippy action here. Market is surging up on stronger jolts. I'm trying to look at the rate cut expectations now here. So here's the CME watch tool. Maybe it's more optimistic regarding cuts. Still 7 to 93%. NASDAQ pushing up big here. I don't know about big, but it's definitely up. Tesla rebounding back up too. Yeah, it's definitely possible. It's chop. Amazon looking pretty strong though, coming back. Tesla almost green on the day. Almost green. Not quite green for Tesla, but almost green. Yeah, maybe it means less inflation. That's what I'm thinking here. It's not really a huge move, but it could mean less inflation. All right, guys. So sorry, we're back. My wife called. You know how she does. She calls every day at 10 a.m. I noticed this about my wife. She calls every day at 10 a.m. It's like clockwork. I love her. Good wife. Lots of calls though. All right. So again, we have reacted positively to this JOLTS report so far. Huge surge in the NASDAQ here. Whoa, some type of news might have just dropped. Whoa. Anybody see any news that potentially is released right now? China waived 125% tariff on ethane imports earlier this month, according to two sources. Move will relieve pressure on Chinese firms. I don't know why we just popped like this, but hey. Look at this strength right now. All right, so we did have this big pop up here, big surge. Yeah, I'm looking at blue chips. It looks like they want to come up here. We got a little dip after this pullback here. All right, so we've had a huge move in a lot of stuff that's green. Very hard to tell what the market's going to do, but we're seeing a lot of strength right now. Gonna dip more, maybe. We're gonna keep popping up. Again, we got the Atlanta Fed GDP now data going live sometime soon here too. When's the Atlanta Fed GDP now data? It comes live sometime soon. Let me just check. Big red candlestick. Show up. I'm wondering if we're going to get choppiness. It's a weird day. We got a lot of big earnings going live. We got a lot of big earnings going live today and tomorrow, and so I'm wondering if we're going to get like choppy sideways action or what's going to happen here leading into this. But we're starting to dip back down after like big strength this morning, but we're starting to come lower now for sure. Yeah, a lot of stuff starting to turn like it's going sideways. City CEO expects a transformative... Wait, what did he say? Expects transformational expenses to increase this year and come down in 2026. So we're rebounding a little bit here. I wonder if we're going to bounce at this 19,555 level. So we got a little pop here. All right, so we did get a little pop here at this 19.55 level. Again, what I'm waiting for right now, chat, what we do have going live, and again, if you want to check out Top Step, great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. They give you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. You pass the test. They fund you. You fail, you only lose what you pay for. The base one's $50. It's literally the best of both worlds. It's a great way to learn day trading with limited risk versus funding your own account thousands of dollars and probably losing it like most new day traders do. You have to pay market tuition in the beginning and lose. You can either fund your own account and lose thousands probably, or you could try Top Step. If you fail the base challenge, it's $50. Not the end of the world. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. They've paid out hundreds of millions of dollars, funded thousands of traders, and it's just a great way to learn. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link up right here. You can also see it pinned to the top of the chat. The reason I'm sticking around right now, guys, just to put this into perspective, I usually cut the stream by now. The reason I'm sticking around is because in about 20 minutes, we have the Atlanta Fed GDP now for quarter one going live. Atlanta Fed GDP now for quarter one. That's not a small report. This is where they're gauging GDP data. And so and this is at 10:30. Wait, what just happened? There it is. All right, so we did get a little bounce at this level here. I don't know what I want to do though. Tesla at 285s. Look at Amazon pop. Amazon coming up here. Look at Amazon. Getting ready to break highs of the day, it looks like here. Looks like Amazon wants to break highs of the day. All right, guys. Amazon looks like it wants to break highs up here. Let's see if it does. Let's try it. All right, Amazon surging up, chat. Dragging the market, honestly, back up with us here. Let's see if we keep popping up here. At Amazon surging back up. So volatile right now in markets. Amazon trying to get up there. See if Amazon bounces here again. Nope. Tesla's falling back down though, kind of looking weak, but we'll see if we rebound back up. Whoa, Amazon. Okay, so we had some bad news that just came out here. I think it's bad news. Amazon spokesperson says reported decision to label tariff price hikes was never under consideration for the main Amazon website. Says Amazon Hall has considered listing import price duties on certain products according to WAPO. So basically they're kind of disputing some of what they said earlier here. Look at this big retracement back up. Wow. But it's definitely influencing the market right now. Getting some deep volatility here for Amazon. Deep volatility. Weird. We had a big pop and then a retracement back down. So it retraces some of this candle, fighting its way back up. All right, guys. So yeah, so look at Amazon. Yeah, again, so here is something that Amazon is saying regarding, here, I'll put this up in chat. And Amazon's kind of the big move of the market today, I think. It's looking good, but I'm going to take one micro contract here and just keep it small. And then use this. Whoa. I don't know if this is the best time to trade right now. We got a small max loss in this account, so we're not going to lose too much no matter what, but such weird price action here. I'm going to take half of this off. I just don't trust it, even if it means like hurting the trade a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and cut this too. I'm just not having good trading today. We're down about $100 in each account that we have in 2 of our 3 funded accounts. Not the end of the world for any of them. Just weird price action, just kind of going back and forth. So we'll see what happens. Again, I'm sticking around because in 10 minutes we have the Atlanta Fed GDP now at 10:30. And so we're going to cover that as it goes live. It's expected at minus 2.5% for Q1. So we'll see what that looks like too. But just the price action is very whippy right now. Very strange. Big range, but sideways overall price action for the most part this morning. Like you can see, Amazon is a good example of that. And so it's just hard for me to make money today. I think, honestly, in my other account, I was down a lot more than $100, and so I'm very happy to be where I'm at now with this account. And I'm just going to wait about 10 minutes and let this Atlanta Fed GDP Now report come out. Yeah, lettuce hands for sure. Okay, so UK and India are on the cusp of striking trade deals, according to Politico. British business leaders have been invited to Downing Street on Tuesday afternoon for an announcement on the talks. JetBlue expects 21 Airbus FP deliveries in 2025. And again, in about 9 minutes, we got the Atlanta Fed GDP Now data at 10:30 that we're going to stream and cover like we do. And then remember, guys, so today is kind of boring, right? So today is kind of boring. Today's not boring. Let me get this right. Like, today is not boring. But, wait, did I save this? Okay, let me make sure. Today is not boring. But tomorrow makes today look boring, to be completely real. Tomorrow is incredibly busy. We got every major economic report you can think of releasing tomorrow. GDP data, PCE data, and just a gang of other reports, to be completely honest. We just got a lot of stuff coming out tomorrow. A lot of stuff. So tomorrow we have, just to put this into perspective here, look at this downward pressure in markets right now. Again, Tesla dropping down big. Tomorrow, again, we have PCE data, Chicago PMI, GDP data for Canada and US. Dallas Fed PCE. We've got pending home sales tomorrow at 10 a.m. We have Atlanta Fed GDP now, quarter 2 data at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We've got a bunch of big earnings as well. So we got GDP, PCE, Chicago PMI, pending home sales, crude oil inventories, Atlanta Fed GDP now for quarter 2 and more tomorrow. And big earnings. Tomorrow, the earnings for tomorrow include, let me find it, hold on. Visa, no, that's today. That's today. Tomorrow we got Humana, Caterpillar, Etsy, IP, Generac, Vulcan, Meta, Microsoft, Robinhood, QCOM, eBay, and more. So, yeah, today's not boring. Lots of craziness today. That's why I said, let me put this into perspective. Versus tomorrow, today seems boring based off of how much stuff we got. Tomorrow's going to be chaotic. It's going to be crazy. Too much stuff dropping tomorrow, to be honest. All right, we got the Atlanta Fed GDP now data dropping again sometime soon. Expected at minus 2.5%. It drops in about 7 minutes. Do I want to buy this dip? I don't know. I think I told myself I'd be done. We got 6 minutes left, so. Yeah, Amazon movements are what's driving a lot of this volatility we had today. Five minutes, chat. 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't even know if this last report's going to move things. We'll see. It might. So we are retracing back up here. We got 4 minutes left until the Atlanta Fed GDP Now report comes out. Again, give me a follow at Beginner Trades, at Beginner Trades on X.com if you want to. I appreciate the follows. Jordan, Mike, and Baby Whale, appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Yeah, give me a follow. At Beginner Trades. Here's the link right here. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. We cover a lot of the breaking news that happens in markets. Like, we'll cover the Atlanta Fed GDP now. Yeah, my day ain't that great, Sublime. I lost in most of the accounts I traded on today, but that's how it goes. As long as I can keep my risk and my losing days small, we're okay. So, SoFi coming back. Amazon's what I'm watching the most today. It's kind of weird. A lot of stuff's flat, but Amazon's whippy. So, 3 minutes, chat. 3 minutes. Yeah, SoFi coming back down. It's at 1370s. Apple turning down too. Apple back to 210s. Palantir at lows. Appreciate it, Cody, for the follow. At beginner trades, appreciate it. Let's see if 475 bounces here. Again, we got 2 minutes left. Options flow is chaotic. Yeah, I mean, today's just weird. Like, Besant's words on Amazon. Look at 475 hold. Besant's comments on Amazon are kind of, you know, jolting things, I guess is the easiest way to put it. Like, jolting things. All right, guys. Here we go. We got 1 minute left. $45 seconds. All right, 30 seconds, 20 seconds really. Let's see what we get. Again, it's expected at minus 2.5% for quarter one. We'll see what it shows. I'm showing it drops today. I'm pretty sure it does. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the report. -2.7%. Negative 2.7%. Actually, it's a little bit worse than expected at negative 2.7% versus minus 2.5% expected for the Atlanta GDP now. Again, negative 2.7%. Again, minus 2.7% versus, actually, let me edit this. Minus 2.5% expected. All right, so that's out right now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and we'll be back tomorrow for the crazy, shocking, huge No good, very bad, very good, possibly day tomorrow. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much, chat. And again, we cover all the major economic flows that we get coming through the markets, so you can see what's moving. We trade live every day. You want to check out Top Step, link is pinned at the top of the chat. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. I appreciate the love. Always remember, I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about, and I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Some would say I'm the top 3 worst and most biased trader of all time ever in the world. I love you all. Have a great day. Be safe. Watch Amazon today. Amazon's the one moving markets. So y'all be good. Have a great day.